So you want to hear about how they were manufacturing planes here as well.
Do I want to hear that?
I don't know. Maybe not.
Did you ask? I don't know. I felt like you asked, but yes, I do.
Well, I'm glad you almost didn't ask, because the answer depends on who you're asking at the time. In hindsight, what they were actually doing here was quite controversial, all because of the Treaty of Versailles. This is the treaty that ends the First World War. And under the Treaty of Versailles, one of the stipulations was that Germany could not have an air force.
Wow. Okay.
So what they were doing here is they were building gliders, which they could say, oh, this is just for sport and civilian use. But what they were actually doing is the early stages of building the Luftwaffe.
Using
the
loophole.
They looped the loophole. Yeah, this is where they started building the kernel of what would become the German military air force.
Okay.
Yeah. And gliders were used in World War II.
Yeah?
Yeah, many times.
Okay, so they weren't lying, but they were.
But they were, yeah. I mean, they built, for example, the Germans built this plane, the Junkers 52, which is a troop transport, so it can carry a very large payload, long distances. But they said, oh no, it's a fast mail plane.
For delivering mail.
No, for delivering mails.
Men. It's an escort.
No, then they would have sussed it. No, yeah, mail, letters. So at the flight school, a lot of civilian flying skills that they're teaching were really the same as military flying skills. I mean,
yeah.
Civilian and military flight, what's the difference except the size and speed of the planes and whether or not they have guns and bombs on them?
Right.
So they just said, oh, no, this is sport.
Okay, so it's all a ruse, all a cover up.
Exactly.
Okay, but then the war breaks out and they just, switch it all out to military stuff.
Yeah, so they take their gliders and they turn them into remote control bombs.
That's fun.
Yeah. The Henschel gliding bomb.
Gift for the kids.
Yeah, I mean they didn't have little handheld drone things quite yet. It was a bit more primitive. Okay. But this Henschel gliding bomb did basically what we see drones doing in the present day. That's how advanced the Germans were in their tech. I mean, not as accurate again, and these are large things, like they're the size of a real plane, not these little mini buggers. They also started making planes like the infamous Stuka dive bomber, which was very effective at precision bombing of land targets and also had that terrifying siren mounted on its landing gear. So you ever watch a World War II movie and you always hear that, that's the Stuka siren going off because it's meant to inflict terror on whoever it's attacking.
Right.
And these planes are actually kind of slow, and they would go into an almost vertical dive, which makes them much more accurate. And they would release the bomb. Was interesting. The bomb was on this kind of hinged device on the bottom of the plane, and just at the last moment they would pull up and they press a button and the hinge kind of swings out and sort of drops the bomb straight on the target, and it's very, very precise.
Oof. Yeah.
Compared to just flying at a higher altitude or flying straight and level and then dropping your bombs from there.
It's more personal as
well. It's more personal.
The way they do that.
When you really want to reach out and bomb someone,
you can look into the eyes of the pilot.
Use a Stuka, and then the siren's just kind of rubbing it in. It's not bad enough they're dropping a giant bomb on someone; they have to scream at them at the same time. Yeah. Sort of like you on an airplane. So then they had the Focke-Wulf fighter, the FW-190.
The what?
The Focke-Wulf? You seem confused by this now.
These
are named after people. They're named after the people who designed them.
Okay.
And the Allies nicknamed this one the Butcher Bird.
Right.
Because it had these 20-millimeter cannons on it that were absolutely devastating to the aircraft that it hit. And it was also a plane that often, again, was really good in a dive. So these things would be above the fighters it was attacking, and they just whip in at these crazy-ass speeds and take them out before they even knew what was happening. One of the most famous pilots to fly this Butcher Bird, the Focke-Wulf 190, was a guy named Erich Hartmann. And Hartmann is widely regarded as the highest-scoring fighter ace in history, with an astonishing 352 confirmed kills during World War II.
His mother must be so proud.
Yeah, I'm sure she was. Less so the mothers of the people that he took out. The French pilots, Polish pilots, Russian pilots. And in all fairness, Erich Hartmann was often going up against people that had far worse planes than the one he was in, that had far less training and experience.
Okay.
At the beginning of the war, some of these air forces were still flying biplanes, for example, these very fragile planes, where he is in this, at the time he's in a Messerschmitt 109, which is it's kind of like a, I don't know, like a Porsche going up against a Robin Reliant in a race. You can't be like, oh, the guy in the Porsche must be an amazing driver. It's like, no, he's in a Porsche, and this dude's in a 3-wheel piece of crap.
So we should probably take off a few of these 350.
Yeah, there should be a little asterisk, one of those baseball stars that was, on
Steroids.
steroids when he got his record. A little asterisk next to the 352.